next we got SwiftShadow running Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage. Take it away, Swift.
Thank you. Alright, so this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage, or just 0.2. It's the shortest KH any percent run. This is beginner any percent, so the easiest difficulty, just to go the fastest. And it's a very cool run. It's the first run that I ever did. Yeah. Alright, so...
I'm ready for time, so just give me a countdown.
Perfect. Cool. So the timing starts as we confirm our difficulty here. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Swift.
Thank you. Alright, so this game takes place, we play as Aqua, who was present in a Birth by Sleep run that was shown in the marathon yesterday. This takes place after Birth by Sleep, so this is her journey through the Realm of Darkness, which she got sent to at the end of Birth by Sleep. So to start this run off, we have a few cutscene skips. We get to see a wonderful beach, which is definitely intentional. And there's one more cutscene skip coming up. And one of the cool things about this run is it's very short and very fast-paced. So we're going to be covering a lot of things. The commentary is going to go by pretty quickly just because of how fast the run is. So to start off, we're doing a lot of cartwheels here. Cartwheel is our fastest form of movement. We're going to jump and attack to get over that ledge without having to ledge grab it. And we're already into our first fight. This is Shadows. This is a very heavy reset point for early game. So we're going to dodge roll back and then go forward. And that baits the Shadows to come and hit us. And Aqua has a barrier as a guard, which does this 360 block. And afterwards she can counter. And the counter kills Shadows. So that actually went pretty well, especially for a marathon. Normally it doesn't go that well. There's a lot of time spent trying to reset to get Shadows to do what you want them to do, because they can just choose to attack you, they can choose to walk around and do nothing. Whatever they want to do, you kind of have to just cover it. And now we're going into our second fight, which is another set of Shadows. It's a worse set of Shadows, despite what some other runners say, because they're wrong. But we're going to do this one counter, and then we're going to combo. And something that 0.2 added is that you can cartwheel in order to cancel your combos. So instead of doing Aqua's full combo, which is a 5-hit combo that does a finisher, we can just do the 2 hits that it takes to kill a Shadow, and then cartwheel afterwards. And now we have another set of cutscenes that we're going to skip, and we're going into our pretty much the heaviest movement section in the run. There's one section later that's a little bit more difficult, but this is the most movement-intensive run, part of the run. And so we're getting these tutorial screens, which we can just mash out of with circle. They're multi-page tutorials, but we can just close them all at once. And again, we're doing cartwheels because that's our fastest form of movement normally. But there is a faster form of movement, which we're going to see here. Now that we have magic, we can Blizzard, and Blizzard creates a trail that we can ride on. Unfortunately, it only really works when we have long, flat surfaces, so we don't get to do that much. This section of the run, we're basically looking for these gears here, which will turn back time to recreate the bridge that we need in order to get to the castle. And as we trigger each of these gears, we're going to unlock a different part of Aqua's kit. So on this first one, we're getting double flight, which is our double jump. And the way that I'm going to be comboing these gears is we start the combos early. So beginner has an ability called Combo Master, which basically means I can start a combo without hitting something, and it'll continue my combo. We're going to do 2 hits there to get on the ground really quickly. It's faster than doing the full double jump. And now we're going down to our second gear, or gear 3, because we hit a gear in a cutscene. But as we fall down to it, we can do fires to start our combo, and then we just need the 4th hit in the finisher to connect on the gear. So for all of these combos, we're able to burn some magic early so that we're able to trigger the gears as fast as we possibly can. This is also setting up for our MP bar to be in a very specific spot that we need it to be later. Hitting this gear unlocks situation commands, which I'll talk about a little bit more before we hit our first boss of the run. We're going to open a chest here, which is an ether. That's an item that will restore some of our MP, which we need in order to do magic. Oh my goodness. I just completely dropped my combo there. Let's do that again. So we're going to double flight and then combo to get over this wall. And then we want to burn all of our MP here on this gear, and that will put us into a state called MP charge. So basically, the way that magic works in this game is every time that you use a spell, it uses a set amount of MP. Once you run out of MP, your bar becomes red, and that puts you in an MP charge state. So then after a set amount of time, your MP will be fully refilled. And we specifically want to do that here so that when we get to our first boss, we have full MP. That gear unlocked Air Slide, which you can see I'm using now. It's a very good movement tool that we have in order to get places quickly while we're in the air. And this is the last gear that we're triggering. And I didn't mention this before, but all of these cutscenes that happen after the gears are unskippable, unfortunately. It makes the early game quite a bit longer than it otherwise would be, just because we have to sit through all of these cutscenes. But it gives some downtime for water or whatever. And this last gear gives us Shot Lock, which you can see we have a focus bar down on the bottom right. And if you've seen BBS, you've seen Shot Lock. It's basically this big targeting reticle thing that we can put on an enemy, and then it'll shoot projectiles out afterwards. Now we're heading up to our first boss, Demon Tower. And this boss is very complicated. It goes very fast. So I'm going to start this fight off with 3 fires, and you'll see on the bottom left of the screen that's going to start building arrows. These are for situation commands. I'm going to guard this and do 2 blizzards and 2 hits. And you can see as those arrows build up, we get these commands. These are like our grand magic. They're very big, very powerful. So I got 2 there. I got Blizzaja and Firaja. The Blizzaja actually acts as a stun on Demon Tower, so that Demon Tower doesn't want to attack when I go for the Shot Lock. That's the only reason that I can actually get that Shot Lock off. If you normally go for a Shot Lock without doing the Blizzaja, he'll attack. The reason that him attacking is a problem is when he attacks, he glows red, like you can see here, and while he's doing that, he takes reduced damage from everything except for Blizzard magic. So the way that we approach that fight is in a very specific way so that we make sure that he doesn't attack, so then he can't take reduced damage from what we're trying to do. Yes, the fan favorite boss, absolutely. And we get to see him again later too, which is even better. So now we're going into the world within. It's basically this big mirror world. It's very cool. It's one of my favorite worlds in all of KH. Unfortunately, we don't get to see all of it. There's a few optional mirrors that actually have some cool puzzles. But for the any percent run, we're only going through the 3 mirrors that we actually need. So to start off, we're going through this one. And this is basically the mines. And then this is the other very movement-heavy part of the run. This is the most difficult movement that we're going to be doing. So I'm gonna hit this plank here. And then we're going up. This jump up here is actually the hardest jump in the entire run. So we're gonna jump, air slide, double flight, air slide, and then combo over to here. And getting up onto that platform is actually incredibly difficult. It's the hardest jump in the entire run. If you don't make it, you can still grab the rail that like sticks out of the platform and get up from it, but getting up on its own is a little bit faster. It's just incredibly difficult to do. The angle that you have to hit is actually pretty precise, because if you hit it the wrong way, then instead of her attacks carrying you up onto the platform, they push you down. And the reason that we've done all this movement is there are these mirrors that create platforms for us, like we just used here. But they're slow, because we have to wait for the platforms to move and all of that stuff. By doing all the movement that we did, we're able to skip all of these mirrors, except for this last one, which we need in order to come up here. Now we're going to be fighting our next set of bosses, the Phantom Aquas. So the goal here, oh, that was actually a perfect attack. The goal here is to react to Aqua's attacks, and then guard and jump out of our guard so that we can combo her. These Phantom Aqua fights actually have a concept called revenge value, which you'll probably be hearing a lot about in the next run. But these bosses take that same concept. So basically, if I was to do 2 full combos on a Phantom Aqua, 2 full physical combos on a Phantom Aqua, she would retaliate, because each of those hits is adding to her revenge value, and once that hits a certain amount, she retaliates and breaks out of our combo, so that we can't just like loop a boss forever, right? By swapping out one of those physical hits for a fire, we're able to keep her in the combo, and she won't hit our RV. So then we're able to kill her without her retaliating at all. And we'll see this again on this upcoming fight, which is our Aqua 2. And then on the next fight as well, Aqua 3, which we're going to abuse her revenge value even harder because we get access to the Spellweaver transformation and some other stuff. So here, she's laughing, which means she's going to appear up here. I'm going to catch that with fires. And then I'm going to do 2 more fires and just combo her up in the air. And this combo should kill. Now we're on our way into Aqua 3, which it's very specific the order that we've done these mirrors. And the reason that we want to end on this one is because of the pillars that this mirror has. So coming out here, I'm going to Thunder. That will put me in MP charge. And you can also see I have 2 arrows down on the bottom left. The attacks that I just did on Aqua 2 actually carry over outside of the area. And that Thunder hits some urns that are by the mirror. And you can't see my arrows right now, but as I hit this pillar, boom, those 2 arrows pop up again. So we're able to conserve these arrows through the map transitions. And by hitting these pillars, we're not losing our arrows because we're still doing combos. And the weird thing is, the game, because you've left an area, just decides all of the hits that built these arrows are physical hits. Because the game, I guess, doesn't track what you use to fill those arrows. So by doing these hits, we're guaranteed to get the Spellweaver transformation, which we just went into here, and we're going to have it for Aqua 3, which Aqua's actually going to use Spellweaver as well. But basically what Spellweaver does is it changes our combo from being a 5-hit combo to a 6-hit combo, and it gives us some more tools. It makes the combo actually pretty cool as well. So I'm going to do 5 hits here, and now we're going to start our loop. So we're doing 2 hits, 2 fires, hit finisher, and we're going to loop this 2 more times. And for some reason, the devs thought that it would be cool for fire to reduce Aqua's revenge value. So we're able to just loop her here by using those fires. It keeps her in the combo because her RV never hits the point where she would retaliate. And we can just keep her in this long loop to combo her to death. Now we're leaving the world within onto our next major area of the world. I have a little bit of MP left, so we're going to see another blizzard here. And my goal here is I want to air slide off of it as close to the save point as I can, because we want to refill our MP and our focus here, going into the next area. So now we're going into the Forest of Thorns. The Forest of Thorns is actually where this run starts to get a bit scary, especially in terms of the difficulty of pulling off certain fights. This is where a lot of runs come to die. The bosses in this area are very scary. And we also have vines that we have to deal with now. So there are 2 types of vines. These normal vines, which I just cleared with some thunders. I'm going to get on this rail here. And then you can see there are these red vines here that just spawned in as we hit this cutscene. And the red vines, unlike the normal vines, can only be cleared by using fire magic. So I'm going to jump over these vines so I don't have to deal with them. And then we're going to fire this set. And they drop a little bit of MP as I break them, which is actually pretty important because we need the MP for this next fight. This is Dark Side. This opening's very, very hard, so I'm going to not talk while I do it, because it's very difficult to pull up. Okay, so basically what we needed to do there was do a bunch of magic at the start and get close enough to him that we could guard his attack before it came out. Darkside has 2 parts to him, his hands and his head, and basically his health bar is split between those, so we need to kill the hands before we kill the head. This strat that I just did only works on PS4 Pro. There's a difference in shot locks between the Pro system and the base, so I can get more out of my focus bar on PS4 Pro than what you can get out on a base PS4. But by managing our shot lock properly and getting lucky with both of those commands that I got, which isn't entirely consistent, it does work on PS5 as well. Yes, it works even better on PS5. You get consistent double 28s because the frame rate's even better. But by managing our shot lock and our magic properly, we're able to kill him without him being able to act much. This is like the one little bit of downtime that we get in the run. There's one more, I guess, towards the end, but that's a stressful bit of downtime because you're going up to the final boss. But basically, we're just jumping over these dark sides, and I do an air slide at the end there. That lets us hit the cutscene trigger a tiny bit earlier. And now we're going into Forest Fight, which is a big mob fight. It has Neo Shadows, it has Water Cores. I'm going to start off by doing 3 fires going forward, and then we're going to go back and do a bunch of thunders until I get Thundaja. And I'll Thundaja and Firaja the enemies, and then kill this Water Core. Oh, Neo Shadow Whip too. So at this point, we've gained 2 levels. We started off at level 50, now we've hit level 52, which has given us a strength and a magic increase. I'm gonna pick up this chest here, which is another ether. This is actually the last ether that I'm picking up. There's one more chest that we're gonna pick up, which is a mega ether. And now we have to make our way through this forest. And there are some dark sides that are gonna be shooting projectiles at us, but they're not too hard to avoid. We're basically following Terra and Ven here, which are the other 2 characters from Birth by Sleep. There are these illusions of them being here in the Realm of Darkness, and Aqua wants to find her friends. We're gonna do some thunders here to clear these vines. And then up at this last set of vines, I'm gonna Thunder and Cure to put myself in MP charge. And the reason for that is our next boss, Darkside 2, actually has a long path that we're gonna be walking up. And by going into MP charge here, I'm ensuring that I will have full MP for Darkside 2. So this is the path to Darkside 2. He drops all these spiky balls down on us, and these positions are random, so I have to just watch and avoid them. And as we go up here, I'm gonna explain a concept called quick charging. So basically, the way that situation commands work is you build those arrows up based on the commands that you're using, right? So if you use magic, you're getting magic commands. If you use physical hits, you get physical commands for Spellweaver. Shotlock normally doesn't give anything, but if I do this Shotlock and then do a Blizzard, you can see that I get 2 arrows. And we can use these to get the commands that I want. Oh my god, I didn't get my lock on. I'm gonna get the M2. That's unfortunate. Basically, the way that this started off is by doing that Blizzard there, all of the projectiles that hit after the Blizzard gets cast count as Blizzard hits. So I'm able to get a bunch of commands at the start. We call that quick charging. I'm going to be using that in the last boss as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get my lock on to the head of Darkside. I guess I might have hit R1 a little too early before the hands ended up dying. So now we just have to combo him. I'm going to shotlock his head here. And then we can just ether here. Now we're going into Demon Tower 2. Oh, I should not have used that ether. Oh, that's gonna ruin Demon Tower 2 a tiny bit. But we can make it work. Oh no, are the frames dropping? Oh no. It's good now? Okay.
Are you dropping any frames in OBS Swift?
It had 780 dropped frames. Yeah.
Okay. Looks like it's smoothed out.
Okay, good. Alright, so this is Demon Tower 2. It's a lot like the first Demon Tower that we dealt with. But now it has more health, and we have Mickey, who is a very helpful party member and is not at all the worst thing in the entire game. But basically, Mickey does combos for us, and he also gives us access to a new situation command that we didn't have access to before. We only have access to it when we have Mickey, and it's called Wayfinder, which you can see here. I'm gonna pop Wayfinder here, because I accidentally threw an extra ether on Darkside 2 with how that went. The end of this fight's not going to go the way that I would normally anticipate it going. We're just gonna take this attack from him here. And then hopefully he won't attack multiple times. So the thing that Demon Tower can do that really sucks, which fortunately he didn't do that for me here, is he can just choose when he attacks to attack again. And then when he does another attack, he can just choose to attack again. And again, and again. And he takes reduced damage from everything except Blizzard magic. So the more that he attacks, the more you kind of just have to wait for him to stop attacking. And it gets pretty bad. I'm gonna cure here so that we go into MP charge. We're on our way to the final fight of the run. This is Demon Tide, which is another fight that was seen, I think, twice in the KH3 run. And this is the last item that we're gonna be picking up. It is a Mega Ether. It basically works the same way as an Ether does, but The key difference is that if I'm in MP charge, normally an Ether would refill part of my MP charge. I think it's like 60%. A Mega Ether instead will give me all of my MP back, which is pretty nice. We're gonna Blizzard here, and we're gonna go straight into Demon's Hide. This fight is a bit nerve-wracking, especially on higher difficulties. On lower difficulties, it's nerve-wracking for a different reason. And that's because we rely on both Demon Tide's attacks and boxes that we can find throughout the arena. So Demon Tide has a mechanic here. He has armor on him, basically. And this armor is hit-based, so I'm going to start this fight off by doing a full shot lock. And you can see here on the second, he goes purple there, and that like exposes his core. So now everything that I hit him with afterwards is going to be doing increased damage because his armor is gone. We're going to break these boxes here. And these boxes will drop MP, focus, and HP orbs that give me all the resources that I need for magic and for my shot locks. And the drops that they give, the way that they drop their orbs, is entirely random. So my goal here is to just break as many boxes as I can that are close to me, that aren't like out of my way. And hopefully the game will give me a good spread of both MP orbs and focus orbs so that I can keep shot locking. And then as I come out of the shot lock, I can do magic to quick charge commands like I did on Dark Side 2. You can see how we just got 2 arrows off of basically doing 2 spells. I'm going to do Thunders here to break the boxes. Nice, we got all 3 commands. That's actually pretty lucky. And now he's gone into his second phase, which is this big swirly tornado thing. I'm gonna, I would try to quick charge there, but he sunlocked me. We're gonna do another full shot lock here, or as much of a shot lock as I can. And now I'm gonna try and Blizzard to quick charge my Blizzadra, and now I'm getting Thyraja, hopefully, as well. And now we basically are just gonna spam magic until he dies. So I picked up a Mega Ether beforehand, which is basically just for safety. If he hadn't, that's time as well. Very, very fast run, very fast-paced. The game's short, unlike a lot of the other KH runs. But the Mega Ether is all for safety. Wow, that's actually a really, really solid time for a marathon run. 21:19 is nothing to scoff at for doing it a reset. The shadows were good as well, so a lot went right there. And now we've got something a little special to show off as well. So I'm going into the config here, and what we're gonna do is, if you didn't see, it's this XP gain slider. So I have to turn my XP gain off, and I'm gonna load a New Game Plus save here, which I have set up. But we're gonna go from beginner 90%, which is the easy difficulty base game, to critical mode, which is the hardest difficulty in the game, at our base level, which is level 50, and we're gonna take on the boss rush. So a few things to note before we jump into this, just to talk about the category a little bit. So this is level 50. We're at our base level here. You can see I have gained no experience, right? And in other KH games, the base level is level 1. In this game, they start you off at level 50, so this is the lowest that we can go. This is also on a New Game Plus file because you need to clear the game in order to get the Zodiac chests, which unlock this boss rush. Oh yes, we have the wardrobe up as well, which I took the time to change the outfit to a color scheme that complements the marathon as well. And as a New Game Plus file, we also have some extra items here, which you can see. So I have some high potions for healing, some Mega Ethers for some MP restoring, and then elixirs, which will full heal me, full restore my MP, and give me full focus. And we're going to be doing this boss rush here. Another thing to note, this boss rush has already been completed once. And the way that we set up to do these boss rush RTA runs is we do the boss rush once because the boss rush increases our MP, our max MP, which, if you were paying attention to my health and my MP in the previous run, the HP and MP bars are quite substantially smaller than they just were, because critical mode halves your MP and your HP. Another thing that it does, which is worth noting, is I don't have Combo Master anymore. So when I try to combo things without hitting, in beginner, I would normally be able to do a combo. In crit, it stops you. So if I miss a hit, I get punished really hard. I potentially die. That's basically all the differences that we need to cover for crit. There are a few others, but they don't really impact this category much. But this is the boss rush. There is a very, very good chance that I could die to every single fight in this boss rush. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But we're starting off, it's a total of 5 fights, and it starts with a fight that we just saw quite a bit of. This is Darkseid. And so Darkseid basically functions the same way that he just was. He does have a few new tricks up his sleeve, but the scariest part about this fight isn't actually Darkseid himself. It's the enemies that might spawn very, very shortly. So this fight starts with a few flutterings that are up in the sky, and as soon as they die, which I think the last one just did, Neo Shadows start spawning. And they are extremely scary and extremely dangerous, and I'm gonna cure here. They two-shot you. They can jump from the other side of the map and just target you and kill you. They are awful. I hate them. We're gonna be doing a lot of thunders here to try and lock them down, as they're like getting jolted with the, oh my god. As they get jolted with the thunder effect, they kind of just get a lot more passive. Here I'm gonna throw another elixir. That'll refill my MP, it'll give me more focus, and we just have to do one more shot lock here. I canceled that because I saw that Neo Shadow was coming. This shot lock will kill. We got through Darkseid without dying. That's actually very, very nice. In the past, I ran this category seriously 2 years ago. There were days when I'd spend like a half hour trying to get past Darkseid without dying. This is the first mob fight. It's actually incredibly difficult as well. It starts with Earth Cores and Flame Cores. The Flame Cores are actually really scary. I want to take care of them as early as I can, so I'm going to be doing a lot of Blizzard magic here. There's one other Flame Core on the other side, which I'm going to try and... Oh, that's not what I wanted to target, but that's fine, I guess. I'm going to Ether, or Elixir here, to refill my MP and my health. And now I want... Oh, I got stunned. I'm probably dead here, but we'll see. Maybe they don't hit me. Oh, nope. So the Earth Cores, a new thing that got added in 0.2, which is present in KH3 as well, is the stun status effect. Earth Cores can stun you when they hit you, and then you just can't act. And it's very sad. And the Earth Cores also have armor on the back of them that if you hit them with a physical hit, they just clank with your hit, so you can't hit them from behind. They have a lot of tools that make them very, very difficult to deal with. And with the amount that there are, and with the Flame Cores as well, it gets pretty hard. Probably the worst wave in the entire boss rush. And then this spawns another set of enemies, Water Cores, which go down pretty easily to fire, but they are very scary. They can pop a bubble that makes them invulnerable to any damage except for fire. They'll just teleport when they would get hit. Thank God. Okay, 1 death on Mob 1 is actually really nice. And now we're going to take another death. This death is on purpose. The reason that I have to take this death is we have an item usage limit in 0.2. Basically, you can't use more than 3 items in a fight. And because this fight and the previous mob fight that we were just in take place in the same area, the game considers them to be the same fight. So I used 2 elixirs in that last fight, which means I would only get 1 item here. It's a lot faster to actually just take a death there to the Shadows and Neo Shadows than it is to try and go through this wave with just having 1 item that you can use. So this wave is a bunch of Shadows and Neo Shadows. It's actually 2 waves. I believe the second wave is already spawned. As you can see, the Neo Shadows are scary. They can pop out of the ground, hit you. Like I was saying on Darkseid, they're just as scary now as they were then. And then the last wave here, which just spawned, is another wave of Neo Shadows and Flutterings, which are the bats that we had seen earlier. And I'm just going to keep using Thunders, try and get Thundaja. I think we're down to just either 2 or 3 more, 2 more Neo Shadows here. Oh, never mind, there is another. Let me Elixir here. Because we need the MP for the next fight anyways, and that will ensure that I don't die here. This Thundaja might take them both out, cool. Alright, and now we have another familiar boss fight that we saw in Any Percent, and that we saw in KH3 as well. It's the Demon Tower back again, the best fight in the entire game. And this one takes the longest. He's also actually very scary. So he 2-shots me now. And he acts a lot like the demon towers that we faced in any percent, so I'm going to be doing a lot of similar things. So here I'm going to Blizzaja, Firaja, Shotlock. Again, the Blizzaja as a stun for him, so he won't attack here with the Shotlock. This Demon Tower has very, very slightly less HP than the Demon Tower 2 that we fought in any percent. But to make up for that, we're doing substantially less damage because we're on crit at base level. And we also don't have Mickey, so we don't get access to Wayfinder. Which, to substitute, I'm going to be going Spellweaver here. Because Spellweaver will give us a good amount of physical damage. I'm going to Firaja him, which should force him to attack here. And then we're going to finish. And this will iframe through his attack, and hopefully he doesn't attack again. And this finish will hit him as he comes out for full damage. Then we're going to Elixir again. And do the same magic combos that we've been doing. And that's basically how the rest of this fight is going to flow. I'm just going to keep using magic when I have the chance to. I have another Mega Ether I can use to refill my MP. The thing is, I don't want to use any more MP here. So I'm going to try and just finish this with physical hits. Because I want to be at full MP as I go into the next fight. Which, luckily, he didn't attack here. So I can just go Spellweaver. And hopefully I can get the finish command here. Because going in... that's a little bit sketchy. But whatever. So now we're going into the big fight. This is the coolest fight. This is what makes Boss Rush entirely worth it. It's Zodiac Aqua. This is the secret boss of the game. She's very difficult. She's my favorite secret boss in the series. And we're in a little bit of a weird spot because I have Spellweaver up. So we're kind of just going to have to improv here. I'm just going to Spellweaver finish and we'll see what happens. So normally you don't want to be in Spellweaver coming into this fight, because Spellweaver is our biggest tool for this fight. But the fact that I was in it there means that I have to kind of just burn it. I'm going to heal here. Zodiac Aqua also comes with new attacks that she can do. So those red attacks there, I actually can't guard. They pierce your guard. So what we have to do in order to get an opening there is we have to attack at the same time that she does, and it'll clank with her attack. So now we have Spellweaver, and what I want to do here is basically the same thing that I was doing on Zodiac Aqua 3. We're going to loop her, or on Phantom Aqua 3, we're going to loop her with Spellweaver's combos and fires here. I'm going to do a finisher here. We'll drop the finisher on this combo, and I'm just waiting for Firaja here. And Zodiac Aqua has 2 DMs that she can do, which she might DM me once. I think I got the DM skip. I can't actually tell. But the... Oh, she did. She did DM. That's unfortunate. So the first HP gate for her DM is at 2.5 bars. And the way that our Oh my god, I guarded early. The way that our DM skips work is basically this first DM skip, if we can stagger her in the air, then she won't DM for whatever reason. I'm gonna heal again here, just to be safe. She's gonna Spellweaver finish here, and I'm gonna counter early, and this will let me do a full combo here. And this sets up for something pretty cool. We can do another air combo. This guarantees that I get Spellweaver here. And we also know exactly what attack she's doing. She's gonna laugh, teleport up here, and I can catch her with Spellweaver transformation to catch her out of it. And now we're just gonna loop her again with these combos. And we should hopefully... Actually, ooh... we'll see. We'll see if we get the second DM skip. Her health is looking very low, actually. I have to let her attack here and just hope that the Spellweaver finish doesn't hit her. We'll see if this works. I actually don't know if it does. Oh my god. That's unfortunate. Let's do it again. Hopefully, well, now that we've seen the DM, hopefully this time I can show off the DM skip at least. Now that we don't have Spellweaver off the start, we can get a fight that's more natural. Unfortunately, missed that second hit parry. So there's 2 windows where you can parry her. There's one there and then one here at the end. That on the second hit is a lot more difficult to get. The Q for it is a lot harder. But if you do miss that parry, you can still go for the next one, which is really nice. So she's going to teleport and hit me a lot here. This is the attack I just died to, because I mistimed the counter blast. Alright, now we should be set up to do this the way that I would like to. So I'm gonna do 2 hits here, 2 fires, hit, finisher, and she got out. Oh my god. That's unfortunate as well. If she teleports back in, this attack is fine. I can actually continue this then. So we're gonna Fire Roger her here. Go back into the loop. 2 hits, 2 fires, hit. We'll hit double fire. Do our other hits. And then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Fire Roger her to launch her into the air. And then we're gonna finish. This should be the first DM skip. So because we've staggered her in the air here, and she hit her HP gate, she won't go into her... Oh my gosh. She won't go into her DM there. Unfortunately, I rolled at a bad time and got locked out of the block that I needed to do. 2 deaths to Aqua is not great. It's not surprising. The fight is very difficult, but hopefully this time around we'll get it. But at least I was able to show both the DM and the DM skip. Hopefully this time we can get a pretty clean fight. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go into Spellweaver here again. Hit double fire, 2 hits. We'll do 2 hits, 2 fires. Hit finisher. Then we'll hit fire. Do every hit but the finisher. We're gonna Fire Roger her here. And then we're gonna do another 2 hits, 2 fires, and hit. We can hit her, fire her, do more hits, and then again 1, 2, 3. Fire Roger her to send her into the air. Finish to trap her in the air and stagger her. And then we can pick her up when she's on the ground again. And that should be the first DM skip. Yep. And now she's coming in again. And now again, we're going to be trying to build up Spellweaver. And hopefully we can get the second DM skip. The second DM skip's actually even harder than this one. On this attack, I can attack her 3 times. She'll teleport in. And then she gives us an opening at the end there. So I'm going to hit her, do 2 fires and 2 hits. So we're dropping finishers to not raise her revenge value too much. And we're just going to do this until I run out of MP. So one more time. And now I'm going to do 3 hits, Fire Roger, hit her, and go into Spellweaver finish. And the goal here is that after this, I'm going to get into Spellweaver and kill her in 1 extended combo. Her HP gate for her second DM is at 2.5 bars of health, which I shouldn't hit on this combo. And then we just need to kill her before she's able to attack again. Ooh, I got locked out of that block window. I do survive this hit, which is okay. I'm gonna heal again, just to be safe. We do lose Spellweaver, which means that I can't get the second DM skip, but we can cover this. So we're gonna do these 2 combos that'll force her to retaliate. She's gonna do her DM, and because this is the first DM that she's doing, we know for sure that she's going to do that same attack where she teleports up into the air at the end. And I can catch her with Spellweaver like I had the other time. So we're gonna counter to get through this hit. Again, counter to get through these projectiles. And then we're gonna cover this the same way that we did before. So I'm gonna counter here early. And we get a free air combo on her. And then we're gonna do another air combo to guarantee Spellweaver. She retaliates here. And then I can cover this, attack, Spellweaver. And now we can just loop her. Again, with the Spellweaver fire combos that we've wanted to do. As long as the game gives me Fire Roger here, this fight should be done. Yeah. And we just get to continue the loop. And we can style a bit at the end here. Kill her with the Spellweaver finish. Alright. So that is the 0.2 boss rush on the hardest difficulty at the base level. It's a very, very difficult run to do. As you can see. Death is a very, very real possibility on every single one of those fights. The Zodiac Aqua fight, though, is very cool. The DM skips are incredibly interesting, and the loop as well is pretty great. So I'm glad I was able to show this off.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. I'm happy you were willing to do this for us.